What's going on, Guardians? It's Tizzle here. So this is going to be a solo flawless run of the Seraph Shield on Legend. I'm using my Pyrogale build, and just look at the fragments real quick. We've got Empyrean, Mercy, Searing, and Torches. And then we're abusing Parasite with Solar Holster. Solar Holster is amazing for Parasite, and it just got the Grenade Launcher Reserves buff. So yeah, it's feeling really good now. It's always been good, and I specifically loved it the season this mission came out. But yeah, it's really good. But now I'll talk about the run. So this is the path I take. You're just going to want to go with whatever path you like. So I can always get here like just before 1 second. That one was a little tighter than normal. I had to do a few practice runs of this. I'll get into that in a bit. And then I kill these Thrall to stack up some Worm's Hunger, because there's an ogre where we're heading. So here I just hide behind there, get the threat detection off, reproc Radiant, so we've got 15 seconds of Radiant. Now we're gonna just one bang him. So I don't run any surges. I don't really find it's needed. It might be a little nice for melting the boss and maybe the Briggs, but I have a scavenger on instead, even though there are heavy ammo crates throughout this mission, so you may not need a scavenger, but it does allow me. I never run into ammo issues with Parasite. And then I'm running Zali's Bane, so I was doing a bunch of practice runs with the 360 auto from Crota's End. It's solar, I can't think of the name of it. But anyways, the first run that I switched to the hand cannon, I got this done without dying. Hand cannons are just so much better than auto rifles. I just really wanted to not abuse the meta, but yeah, this run was so much smoother with a hand cannon. So if you have a good solar hand cannon, I definitely recommend it, because there's lots of solar shields, and then we also have like Rays of Precision, so it's a little easier to hit your crits. And this roll is explosive payload and one for all. So when you get one for all going, it hits harder than Sunshot. And explosive payload is really good for damage mitigation. So on the part where you're doing the jumping puzzle, I am able to take out those shields so much easier than I was with the auto rifle. So yeah, I definitely recommend a hand cannon. I have Unstoppable, but you might not want that because you could get anti-barrier when you're Radiant, and Ember of Torches will get us Radiant a lot. So here I have Worm's Hunger times 11, so I'm going to use that to take out the Captain, and look at how good Parasite does. And that was only just over half stacks. It can go up to times 20, and it just took out like 2 of the Vandals and that Captain with ease. So here you can see how good it is on the solar shields. Yeah, I just love this hand cannon so much. 1 sec, I'm just gonna pull up my dim and see what the heck the name of that auto rifle was, because it's really bothering me that I can't remember it. Abyss Defiant. So yeah, I was doing my practice runs with that. I tried this on Strand Titan with Syntheseps, and Navigator with a Eager Edge sword. Eager Edge is nice for getting around quickly, but I wanted this to be a little more approachable for everyone. And I also really wanted to try out the changes to Ember of Mercy, because picking up a Fire Sprite will give you Restoration, and that was fixed in the March 5th patch update. And it's like, I have this build on my channel, the Pyrogale build, if you're interested in it, but I can't remember the exact fragments. But I know I took Ember of Mercy off back when, because it wasn't that good, because it would reset your timer. So there again, I throw down a Resto Nade, and then I shoot my Parasite, and then boom, I get 15 seconds of Restoration, just like that. Restoration is still really nice. It's still a very strong verb. Really nice in this mission. But yeah, you can see just how good Consecration with Pyrogales is. It took out like all the other ads that were left up after my Parasite shot. So that's really the essence of the build. You do a bunch of ad clear to stack up your Worm's Hunger, and then Parasite is really nice because you can just throw down a healing grenade and get like an instant kill. Because Ember of Empyrean, some people will argue it was nerfed, and I can totally understand that feeling because you used to get 4 seconds for anything you killed. But in a mission like this, there's lots of orange bars and yellow bars. So you actually, like yellow bars will give you 8 seconds to your resto timer. So if you're using Parasite for ad clear, then the changes to Empyrean are actually good. So it's situationally dependent. So there, we just do a slam. I just run past these turrets because I was getting sick of running this mission. But yeah, so for the routing and stuff, it's just something you're gonna have to get used to. So yeah, here again, you can see how nice it is for ad clear, but I should have thrown a restoration grenade down before. But yeah, so for your pathing and the routes you want to take and everything. So here, I get screwed. The freaking enemy hides. So, like I said, I did some practice runs before getting the solo flawless. And, yeah, I had like just cleaner gameplay in some of them, but I'll show you where I died because I didn't have a hand cannon. And, yeah, so unfortunately the gameplay is not perfect here, but it is what it is. Like I said, I will use the imperfections to help show you what you should do. So here, I label those as 1, 1, and 2. That's just my numbering system. I go left to right. But again, so for your whole path through this mission, you're just gonna have to run it and get used to it. I can't really help there, but for the gameplay, I can definitely give you some strats that will make it way, way easier. So I run 100 strength with this build, and then Soul Invictus and Consecration. So Consecration is obviously awesome with Pyrogales, and then I have Burning Maul for that one-off super, which was really nice in this mission, as you'll see. And then Soul Invictus is good for giving you Restoration and ability regen. So that ability regen's really nice. And then Ember of Mercy, Searing, killing scorched targets will give us... So see, all these enemies are getting scorched because of Kindling Trigger when I have Radiant and I'm using a solar weapon. And then the solar weapon kills also extend Ember of Empyrean. So there's a lot of synergy with this build, and it's so good this season thanks to Kindling Trigger, Flint Striker, whichever it is that applies Scorch to unscorched combatants. Because then when we kill them, we're going to get melee energy, and you get a shit ton of melee energy. And then we're also making sunspots. So again, yeah, everything is just working really good with this build. So like I said, you can see just like how much I'm using Parasite, and boom, it blows up those Shriekers, the Knights. Like, this build is really good. This is a long ass mission. So if you can like make short work of these like yellow bar and orange tier ads, it really helps. And like I said, the hand cannon, this was my first run running with the hand cannon, and it was just so much smoother than with the Abyss Defiant. And that's pretty decent auto rifle. And you need the range when you're out on that jumping section. So something with a little more punch but a little less range as far as an auto rifle, it wouldn't be as good out there, and you do need something with range there. So here, something really weird happened. Look at that. Some ads just like respawned. That was the first time I've ever seen that. I don't know if it's because I killed the Knights so quickly that more spawned in, or what the deal was there. And then these guys are acting really weird, like they weren't moving. So yeah, just Destiny being Destiny. But yeah, so I just ducked away and played it safe. So the one thing you do want to be careful with, and now it looks like those Knights despawned. So I don't know what the heck happened. But when you do shoot your Parasite shots, you want to be standing back. You'll see a couple times in this run where I take like an extra second to shoot it off. It's not because I have slow reaction time or whatever. It's because I might have slow reaction time, but that's not why I'm delaying. It's because I don't want to blow myself up with Parasite. But it is like tailor-made for this mission. Like I said, lots of high health targets that need to be taken out quickly, but then there's lots of red bar ads that you can get your stacks of times 20 up, so that every time you are shooting it. So there's a captain back there. He dropped that code. So yeah, again, just... I'm so used to having a melee there. I was about to Consecration and I didn't have it up. But yeah, I just like literally just launched it, and it took that captain out. So those captains are threatening, but you don't even like see them shooting me because I can either delete them with a super, a Consecration, or a Parasite shot. So now we spawn in this Knight, and he goes away after you do so much damage. So I've got Worm's Hunger times 13. I'm going to get right up in his face. Now I want him to slam before I hit my super, but because like sometimes he will slam as soon as you're out of your super and he'll do a shit ton of damage, but this time he didn't. So now I'm trying to get this captain, and basically what we do here is we get all the Brigs low. I'm not sure exactly how the spawns work here, but I know like some orange bar captains spawn in, I believe, when the Brigs are dead. So if you can get all the Brigs low off the start, then you won't really have to deal with that. So there, I could have died. Those Marauders will sneak up on you, but I am also kind of waiting for them, because now you can see I had my resto timer right up to like 15 seconds because I took out like 4 with 1 melee, and then I get my restoration going from Sol Invictus. So now I have Radiant. So that right there, because I have heavy-handed on, I make an orb. So I could have had like at least 1 Solar Surge on, so my Parasite Shot would have done more damage to that Brig. And then there you could see Raise of Precision putting in big work, because I have Radiant and I got a crit kill on like the 1 drag, and then like 5 of them all died. Those Tracer Shanks, definitely watch out for them. Kill them anytime they're up there. It's only like 1 or 2 shots with a solar hand cannon, so that's nice. And then there, you can see the sunspots are actually doing work on the ads. So this damn captain freaking blinking all around. He's really annoying the hell out of me. And yeah, watch those Brigs, because they do that little sidestep. Sometimes I'll shoot with the hand cannon once, just to like bait out the sidestep before I go ahead and oh yeah, so there was a Tracer Shank, so I probably should have taken it out before casting my super. But yeah, luckily we have a resto going, so it keeps us alive. Take out the Shank, and now this is why we have Succession. I do use it later in the mission as well, but it's really nice for the Brigs. We've got Boss Spec. Boss Spec has always worked on Brigs because it does extra damage to bosses and vehicles. So even in like past GMs before the Boss Spec change, I had ran Brigs in like Devil's Lair for the Brigs and the Walker, but now it works on champions and stuff, so Boss Spec is just like the all-around go-to. And then I actually have Major Spec on my hand cannon, because on red bars, it pretty much, well, maybe there you could see when I hit a body shot on that drag, it didn't quite kill it. So maybe with like One for All and Radiant, I could kill with a body shot. So maybe Minor Spec would have been worth it. But anyway, I was running Major Spec for the orange bars, and I'll show you specifically where I mean, because I'll show you the hardest part of this mission when we get there. And that is why a hand cannon came in really nicely versus the auto rifle I found. So now I think all the Brigs are dead. There's just 3. So now we're just doing some ad clear. Can't hit my shots, always having to reload. But yeah, now we're just cleaning up this room. And then we get to move on. So again, I'm just gonna be like spamming Parasite shots just to keep things moving. Not necessarily spamming, but yeah, because we have a heavy brick. So there again, I just pull it out, deal with the captain really quickly. Those orange bar captains, don't sleep on them, they do hurt. So we clean this up, and then these guys spawn. So that was dumb. I literally get a crit kill, but there was no Raise of Precision. I'm not sure if that's due to explosive payload actually getting the final blow versus my precision shot or what, but I still recommend explosive payload because it mitigates your damage fall off, which is really important coming up here. So now we're full on ammo again, full super, everything. So what I like to do here, I'm just going to fast forward this bit. Oops. Just because there's like a delay when you're giving up your weapons. So you surrender your weapons, you get them right back. So I cast a super on the first captain. That's going to make me radiant. And it's going to get me some worm hunger stacks because he's a yellow bar. So now we're radiant. So now if I could hit crits, we would proc Raise of Precision, but skill issue. And then we just start lobbing. So that was freaking unfortunate. This asshole, I could have lost it right here. All because the game loves to TP ads, because he was back there where I shot my parasite. But anyway, we do recover. You could see how much damage just the consecration on its own does. it's very, very good. And then again, holster saved my life there because my parasite was ready shortly after I had just shot a shot. So yeah, huge fan of solar holster for parasite. So that little doorway or hallway can be difficult, but we make really short work of it there. And then another parasite shot almost takes them out just because I didn't have too many stacks. But if you have enough stacks, you'll easily kill them. I always just jump by these guys. Again, it's just kind of a time save. And speaking of time save, we're just gonna fast forward the jumping part just a little bit. So again, with jumping parts, use whatever jump you're comfortable with, whatever method you're comfortable with. That's not something I can really teach you. It's a feel thing. But this is the route I always go, and I will give some tips on like taking out the ads and some ad spawns. So right here, once you reach that like certain spot where you walk past, some of these tracer shanks will spawn in. So look at that. Because of explosive payload, I'm able to like one-shot a solar shield. But when I was on Abyss Defiant, so unfortunately my parasite's hard to use out here because it is pretty far to shoot, and it's like that weird traveling projectile. But yeah, if you can get a crit, he'll stop shooting because you stagger him. But if you miss your crit, it can be a little dangerous there. But yeah, so that's where the hand cannon is so nice, being able to one-shot that tracer shank. And then because the other solar shielded shanks were close by, it kind of was a chain reaction and killed the other ones. Where here, they're more spread out. So yeah, like look at the range on these freaking boomer knights. Like, anyway, you have to be careful. They do hurt. So that's why I use my shield. Like, just play safe here. The hardest part is coming up. So that was a really nice shot with parasite. Then we take that guy out. Again, just take your time here. So what we want to do here, so see, I'm taking my time, not getting hit by that thing. So before we pick up the operator, because that's going to spawn in some shanks, or maybe it's when we shoot the panel. But anyway, I always like to take that knight out first. So again, this is where the kinetic sniper rifle coming in super clutch. We have great range here. So now we're going to shoot our panels. And yeah, so you could hear that little sound cue from the catch ship coming in. So here I proc one for all, and then same thing. So Abyss Defiant was ass on those guys, like pure ass. They would get up on you so quickly, where I proc one for all on the hand cannon and they're dead in like 3 shots each. So when I had the Abyss Defiant, I would use my sniper because the auto was just so weak. So here we shoot out our parasite, and I didn't see that the second knight died, so I was a little nervous. And then these guys just TP on top of you if you stay here, which is good and bad. Oh no, I didn't kill that knight. Okay. So see, he teleports, and then I didn't realize they had a lane through the through the grating there, so that could have been bad. So again, this is why I'm running Towering Barricade too. If you watch my channel a lot, I usually run Rally Barricade, but there is a time and a place for certain abilities, and the Towering is really nice here, and it's really nice in the room coming up, which I'll show you. So again, keep abusing your parasite, because at the end of this traversal section is a heavy crate. But that being said, don't abuse it here, because we want times 20 Worm's Hunger for the knight that's coming up, because he is very beefy. So there, I shot it because I know I'm going to get it back because there's enough ads, and I was trying to hit that ogre, but I completely whiffed. But those things happen. So it's about 4 crits to take out these ogres. So we want to deal with the ogres first. They actually hurt a lot, so they're our highest priority. But again, we're using our sniper to do so because we're trying to stack up Worm's Hunger for the next room, which is the hardest part in this mission, because there's not a lot of cover and there's a lot of orange bar acolytes, and the boss, well, boss type enemy, I guess, the knight, he does a lot of damage. So here, yeah, you could get through this quicker shooting your Worm's Hunger just to like take out these knights, but don't even do it. So we're just going to take out the knights, just going to speed this up. Not worried about using my ammo because I know there's a heavy crate there. So this part is where I was really struggling and why I switched to a hand cannon, because even though I wind up using parasite more than anything. So what we want to do is cast super right away. We've got Revitalizing Blast on, so we're going to do a 15% weaken. Plus it gives us Radiant from Heart of the Flame. And then we cast a Parasite Shot. So we deal a shit ton of damage right off the get-go. And then the next priority, so I holster my Parasite, and then so I threw down that healing nade, and then I have to get a kill ASAP just to extend restoration. If you don't, if you're doing this strat, you're pretty much dead if you don't get resto rolling. But luckily, I was able to, and then right after, I did my Consecration. So there, he's got some pretty good range on his slam attack. But yeah, so that was a really smooth room. But again, there are things you have to do in a hurry there. Unfortunately, I didn't get the kill with that Parasite, so now I'm just playing a little safe because again, that Captain deals a lot of damage. Then he blinked literally at the... you know how there's invincibility frames in Dark Souls games? This Captain has it too. So he blinked at the exact second. If I had landed that Parasite just before or after, the splash damage would have killed him. But he was in his animation as it was dealing its damage, so I didn't get the kill. But it is what it is. It just takes another second. So I shoot both these panels, and then these guys have killed me before too. So I got through that room with Abyss Defiant before, because I was doing like the Parasite strat that I showed you. Get Resto going, and then just use your Parasite for ad clear. Because again, this thing has great ammo economy. Like really, really good now that it's got almost double its reserves. I think it used to hold 7, now it holds 13 at base reserves. It's insane. It's so good now. Like I've always loved it, but it is truly viable now, especially in a mission like this. And look, I'm getting like tons of heavy. I have heavy ammo finder on my helmet as well. Here, I'm not even concerned with the turret because we can get in and out so quick. Plus I had Resto going. So now, yeah, just doing more ad clear. And again, lots of like orange bar shanks. This was the guy I was looking for. So hopefully we got the kill on that Captain. I think he sometimes spawns in a different spot. I'm not 100% sure though. But yeah, what was I saying? I was saying something about, oh yeah, those exploder shanks. So don't forget about them. Because, yeah, they killed me after I was through the hardest part. Like I said, once you're past that small room with the knight, the rest of this isn't too bad, I don't find. But that room in particular, like I said, restoration is a godsend in there. And the hand cannon, like I said, if I had needed it, would be really nice for taking out those hive. But I mostly just abused Parasite with the holster mod. I don't know how long it takes to load Parasite, or if holsters got a buff, because I was really impressed with how quickly it would reload Parasite, to be honest with you. It might not quite be on par with auto-loading holster, but I don't think I ever pulled it out too soon and it wasn't reloaded already. So yeah, that's nice. Here, you can just jump over these guys if you know what you're doing. If not, just play it safe. Again, if you saw where I hacked that terminal, it was kind of from like a little hidden spot where that turret can't reach you, or you just kill the turret. Again, I'm trying to do this for YouTube, so I try to kind of optimize to make it the most enjoyable like gameplay to watch, so people aren't watching a 1-hour run of Seraph Shield. But if you're just going for a solo flawless clear, by all means, just take your time and do what you gotta do. So here, what I should do, I fuck up here. I don't have a super, unfortunately, but if you had a super, I would suggest killing him with that. But what I should do is do a Revitalizing Blast and then just kill him with my sniper. But I get impatient and I kill him with... so I had Worm's Hunger times 6 there. He's a yellow bar, so if I had killed him with a sniper, I think I would have got like 6 more stacks. So I could have went into the boss room with like 12 stacks, which would just make this first phase quicker. Instead, now I have 0 stacks off the rip. So that's one optimization I screw up. And then on the second phase, I have a screw up here as well. That I'll show you, but it's just Destiny being Destiny. There was nothing I could really do about it, and I'll talk about it when we get there. But anyway, at the start of every damage phase, you want to have a super ready. You can see it does like just over a quarter health, maybe just less than a third. So pretty good, because truth be told, this boss is very tanky, and there's a ton of enemies, as you can see. So again, Parasite is the GOAT in here, like straight up. There's not many better weapons you could choose for this mission. Like I said, ammo economy wise, like total damage, if you're getting times 20 worm hunger shots every time, which is kind of a tall order, but even still, say it's averaging out to like times 10, I think worm's hunger times 20 parasite would have the most total damage in the game, more than Whisper the Worm. Like Whisper's a beast and it gets like huge reserves, but for something like this where it's like a segmented damage phase and you need big burst because this guy can be threatening and you're taking out enemies in between. So yeah, you could see another huge chunk of health. But yeah, Parasite, absolutely awesome for this. The whole build in general, I was really happy. So when I was planning on running these, I thought, oh, I'm going to do this one on Strand Week. Because, again, if you're a fan of the channel, I have Presage and I have Vox Obscura up as well. I did one on Solar Warlock, one on Solar Hunter, and then now I'm doing this one on Solar Titan. But initially I was going to do Strand Titan just because it's so busted. And again, I've indicated that you need huge total damage. Like that knight that I take down in that middle room, I take him down fairly quickly. He is quite tanky. But because I save that times 20 Worm's Hunger, and I use it right after my super where I'm getting Radiant from Heart of the Flame, and I'm applying Revitalizing Blast. So that's 25% from Radiant, 15% from Revitalizing Blast, plus the damage of the super, plus a times 20 Worm's Hunger shot. So there, again, I apply the thing. Unfortunately, he didn't move, so I can't go get my hammer. So that was one kind of little screw up I had there. Like, and then, yeah, so you want to get both those Vandals down quickly, and then you want to get this Chieftain down quickly, which I think, yeah. So once you have them down, so sometimes I'll take this guy out first and I'm standing up here, and then I'll just snipe those Vandals. But they really hurt. They're orange bar Vandals. I have Arc Resist and Solar Resist on for this, and then Concussive Dampener. I think that's definitely what you want for resist mods in this. So again, Chieftains, super annoying with their immunity shields. So now I'm like, hell. So I'm trying to bait them away from the thing, which I'm successful in. And then I almost die there. But again, this is why we run healing grenades. I probably would have got Resto off of the Fire Sprite or Sunspot, but I wasn't really taking chances there. So that was a little risky, but we were able to survive, so that was good. So yeah, highly recommend healing grenades. So now we take these things out. So yeah, you want to take out all those Chieftains, because again, they're orange bars and they hurt more than you think, like when you're running to those spots. So right here, this is the part. So I just cast my super, which really sucked. I didn't know. So that was like some, I think it's, oh god, I should know. But the aspect on Warlocks where you can chain your like cold snap, so they chain from one thing to the next. I didn't know that enemies had that. So after I got frozen the one time there, I was like, okay, I'm done. Even though I saw like the stasis animation on my screen, I was like, no, surely it can't freeze me again. It just froze me. So I was not expecting to get frozen again. And then I knew, so then I was kind of low health already. And I was like, okay, I better just pop super. But what that did, and then I'm missing shots here like crazy too. Like, oh my fucking god. But anyway, that really screwed me because I like to open up every damage phase with a super naturally. Like it makes sense to. But sometimes you do have to panic pop a super to stay alive, because the super will bust you out of stasis right away. And I was getting hunted down there by, not stalkers, the other thing, the guys with like the flaming fire lanterns. I can't think of their name. But anyway, them, Ravagers. So they were running up on me all the while I was frozen and I couldn't get out. So I was like, screw this, popped super. So again, it's gonna add a little bit of time to this run, which wasn't ideal because, like I said, I do like to show good gameplay on things I post, but also it's a good learning opportunity that if it's a matter of like life and death, especially in a solo flawless, like if you were just soloing this, whatever, I probably would have held on to my super and maybe I would have even survived, but why risk it? I'm almost 30 minutes into this run, and so here, there you go. I got Resto times 10 right off the bat there, but I kind of screwed up. See how quickly that loads? So I missed my shot, and now I have things bearing down on me, and he got a totem up. So if I didn't miss that Parasite shot, he wouldn't have got his totem up. but I threw down that healing nade and then used the parasite to take out those adds to extend resto when I should have shot my parasite up top. That was completely my bad. Now, of course, my shit's not reloaded, and yeah, this was late at night. I did a few practice runs of this one. Like I said, Abyss Defiant just wasn't working, but I did really want to use it. And sometimes a loadout change like that is all that's needed. Like I said, this was my first run with the hand cannon, and it went much smoother up until the second phase of this. And then this guy, freaking Fallen, are such little pussies sometimes. Drag's always like hiding behind things, this Vandal trying to run his ass away. But I have the knowledge in the game to know that if I body shot him with a sniper, it's going to stagger him. So that's why I just switched to the sniper instead of trying to hit him with my hand cannon. And yeah, so now again, we're just taking out the Scorn Chieftains because they are the biggest threat. Unfortunately, I never know which side this chieftain is on, so I didn't really know where to throw the hammer down there, and yeah, didn't do any damage. So again, we're just spamming Parasite. You saw I picked up that heavy crate, because I think I still had like 2 or 4 shots of Parasite, but I know I'm not going to need all the ammo, so I just picked it up there, just so I didn't have to worry about it, and I wasn't going to get stuck out of position. So I just went to that crate at a good time to get my ammo. And yeah, then we suppress him, and then it's just a matter of shooting whatever you call these little things in those doorways. Let's see, Praxis's shield drones are revealed. So the shield drones. So yeah, we're pretty much clear sailing now. And yeah, just take them out. And then yeah, this room is really just rinse and repeat. And like I said, it's all just a matter of add priority. So like once you get done with the damage phase, you have to focus on those chieftains first, because they have their immunity totems and they hurt a lot. And especially that one I always take out first. If you can get him down, you have a very safe space up top to work from, because those stalkers and ravagers and stuff, they're not going to come up. So here, I don't like casting this super on stairs because it does buggy things. So that's why I got in front of him instead of down below him, because I don't know if I cast that from down below if it would have even hit. And so then we were able to apply Revitalizing Blast, get the big one-off damage super from Pyrogales. Now my sniper's out, I wait on the holster shot, and boom. And look, still 8 parasite shots left, 4 snipers, I had ammo on the ground. Yeah, absolutely in love with this build. It's so much fun, it's super strong. Little over 30 minutes to do. I would have liked to be under 30 minutes, but like I said, sometimes you just have to cast your super to stay alive, and there's nothing wrong with that. But anyway, that was the run of the Legend Seraph Shield. I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and take care. And like and sub if you want to see more videos like this. Thanks.
About a half dozen house salvation catches inbound. Get to your ship and get out of there.